Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongeth to Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahavaka Kodash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. And double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach us truth well, and that continue to teach us truth well, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. This lesson is going to be based on the helpers, the church of what was it called, Achaeus? Okay, because there was a letter that Paul wrote to what, the Corinthians. He wrote letters to a lot of the different churches, but a lot of the churches were also what, in Corinthians. Okay, so Lord willing, this is edifying, and this is just for the helpers, and we're all helpers, whether it be prophets, whether it be someone that cooks something, whether it be someone that's holding the camera, whatever it may be. But this is more so for those that are all putting into the ministry, because this is what it's about. Okay, I've always said there's an individuality, because no other man can save you, but it's a ministry, it's a body. So I want to start on Corinthians, Babaka Shah. Okay, and we're going to touch on particular, you want to call them disciples. Yeah, they were disciples. Okay, and they were helpers. So let's start at 1 Corinthians chapter 16, and let's go straight to, where should we start? Let's start at 12. As touching our brother Apollos, okay, which is what, Greek name, Apollos. And Paul, the Greeks were calling Paul Apollos. This ain't referring to Paul, by the way. This is referring to Apollos, who was actually a Jew, okay, in Alexandria, okay, which was what? I believe it was Egypt, okay. It was the capital of Egypt at that time, Alexandria, okay, living in that region of Egypt, okay, and he was known to be what? Mighty in the scriptures, a learned man, built up, who became a so-called, and it says here, so-called Christian. In other words, an Israelite, okay, and the teacher. So he was what? Teaching the gospel. I greatly desired him to come unto you with all the brethren. Okay, so who desired him? Paul. Okay, because Paul was over these men, okay, guiding them in the right way, teaching them in the right way. Come unto you with the brethren, but his will was not at all come at this time. In other words, he could not make it. There's time where particular individuals couldn't make it at particular, because they were so busy. This ministry is busy. There's a lot of work to do. But he will come when he shall have convenient time. And that's where you get the time, what, leisure. So Apollos, he could not make it to a particular region because he was busy. But Paul reaffirmed the people he will come at a convenient time when he's ready. Verse 13, watch ye, stand fast in the faith. In other words, stand strong. Okay? Quit you like men. And you might read this word quit and you may think, quit, stop, finish. No. Quit ye like men. In other words, be strong. Be courageous. Bear me just a minute. When you go to that word quit like men, it goes into pistis.
Strong's G 4102. Pistis.
Pistis. Conviction of the truth or anything of conviction, belief representing man's relationship with the Most High and divine things, generally with the included idea of trust and holy, further born of faith and enjoyment with it. So when it says quit you like men, in other words, be courageous in your faith. A strong and welcome conviction. You got to be conviction. The scripture says, let every man be fully convinced in his own mind. Because if you're not fully convinced, it's going to show. If you're not fully convinced about this is the truth, it's going to show. Okay? Conviction that the Most High exists and is the creator of ruler of all things and provider, bestower of eternal salvation through Mashiach, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so when it says quit ye like men, character of one, faith, assurance. So that's what it goes into. Bear me just a minute. See if I can get anything else on this. If I can't, we move on. So yes, pretty like men. In other words, be strong. Okay, be courageous in your faith. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's continue. Be strong. Let all your things be done with charity. That's what this truth is about. This is what this truth is about. Charity. Giving. Not just taking. There's a lot of men that just take. They just want to take. And again, I always say there's a sense of selflessness and there's a sense of selfishness. Are you taking more than you're giving? Because you know there's a name for that. It's called a niggard. You just take. You just want to be around the brothers to gain the spirit. No. Are you in the spirit when you're by yourself? All these things matter. All these things matter. Let all things be done with charity. What's another word for charity? Agape. That's true brotherly love. So if you're truly a brother, why aren't you in this? Why aren't you going out in the highways and byways? Why aren't you going out there and giving your body as a living sacrifice for the brethren? Ain't no greater love than no man that he layeth down his life for his brother. That's the greatest love. That's the greatest thing you can do. Okay? So that's charity, agape. I beseech you, brethren, you know the house of Stephanus. Okay, what does Stephanus mean? Crowned. Okay? He was a, it says convert of, and when it says convert, it means to the faith. Okay, a convert of Corinth, which is Greece. Okay, so you had a lot of our people in these different regions that were converted, and what, they became teachers. That is the first fruits. Okay, and you can acquaint first fruit with first fruits of his kind. Okay, Yahushua is also known as the first fruits, firstborn of creation, but the elect are also known as the first fruits as well. Okay, the first fruits of Achaia. Okay, Achaia. Okay, and Achaia was that region of, bear me just a minute, let's get that on deck, the region of the inhabitants of Achaean, because you had something that called the Achaean League. Okay, which is what, at that time it was a Roman province, I believe it was. I don't think it was a Greek province, it was a Roman province. Okay, Achaia, and they called it Peloponnese, if I'm saying it right, Peloponnese. Okay, Achaia. Okay, and the first fruits is also what? The fruits offered in a temple. Because you can acquaint the two. So the elect are known as the first fruits. Okay, what do you do with a first fruit? It's an offering. So the elect are also what they're offering. That's why the scriptures talk about a sacrifice. And that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. So you brothers, you're supposed to be addicted to the ministry. Okay? You're supposed to be addicted to the ministry, giving yourself. If you're addicted to the ministry, you're not going to be going 2, 4, 5 days and come out of the woodworks, come out of your tomb with a deceitful spirit. No. You've addicted yourself to the ministry, to this work. Because this is all you know now. You don't really know anything else. That's called what? Addicting yourself to the ministry. This is what Yahushua is looking for. Of the saints. Who are the saints? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos. That they submit themselves unto such. And to everyone that helpeth with us. So this is our duty as servants. We're submitting ourselves to you. And to everyone that helpeth with us and laboureth. Because you had many that what converted. And I am glad of the coming of Stephanus. Okay. And for Fortunatus. And Achaicus. Okay. Excuse me. And Achaicus, for that which was lacking on your part, they have supplied. So if anything was lacking, the supplies were there. And that's another thing with a body. What one man don't have, another man may have. That's why it's called a body. For what was lacking, they have supplied. Okay, and different talents, for they have refreshed my spirit. Okay, pause. And yours, okay. But this is, and bear me, this is written by Stephanus, by the way. Okay. Bear me just a minute. And Paul. Okay. For they will refresh my spirit and yours, therefore acknowledge ye them that are such. Okay. The churches, so these were important men that are part of the ministry. The churches of Asia salute you, Aquila. Okay, so it's given out the names. Aquila means eagle, a Jew of a region. The region of Pontus also was known as a tent maker. He was a tent maker. Okay. And Priscilla, okay, Priscilla, was the wife of Aquila. Okay. Salute you much in the Lord Jehovah Shai. So these were helpers with the church that is in their house. So they used actually their home as a church, as a gathering. This is heavy. This is where you gotta read. Oh, the books that, look, bro. The books that the things that Paul was writing, they were very heavy, weighty letters. That's why you gotta go into deep studying, and the Lord's gotta give you the understanding. Okay. All the brethren greet ye one another with an holy kiss, and that was our ancient custom. We greet our brethren with a holy kiss. The salutation of me, Paul, with my own hands. And if any man love not the Lord Jehovah Shai Mashiach, listen carefully. If any man love not the Lord Jehovah Shai Mashiach, let him be an anathema, marampha'ah. We're going to go into that word, what that means as well. So it says, if any man love not Yahweh Shai Mashiach, let him be a narampha'ah, narifama. And we're going to look up that word. See if I still got it here. Okay. In other words, that's a curse. Spare me just a minute. It's a curse. So those that don't want to take heed, and this was Paul. This is what Paul said.
G 331. Anathema.
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 A thing set up or laid by in order to be kept, but it's going to tell you kept for. Okay, to bind under a great curse. So let them be a curse. Put curses. If anybody don't want to receive this, and you've told them, let them be what? An anathema, marampha'ah. Okay. Especially in an offering resulting from a vow which after being consecrated to the Most High was hung up on the walls. No, let's get straight to the point. A thing devoted to the Most High without hope. Okay? And this is referring to what? People, a person's vessel of being redeemed. If any animal to be slain, therefore a person or thing doomed to destruction. So this is what Paul said. If any man doesn't want to receive these words and receives not the love of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, let him be in a ransom. Let me say it again. Anathema, marampha'ah. A person doomed to destruction, a curse. A man accursed, devoted to the direst of woes, destruction. This is how serious this truth is. Okay, that's why you have to believe in this. You have to believe in Yahweh Shai. Okay, verse 23. The grace of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach be with you. My love be with you in all Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Amen. Now let's go to Romans, Baba Kashar. So you always had helpers. You always had helpers that were a part of this ministry, that were building. Okay, let's go to Romans. Where is it? Let's go to Romans 12 and 3. For I say through the grace, right now we've been shown grace, mercy. Okay, to every man, okay, that is among you, not to think of himself more highly, than he ought. Okay, so when we're teaching truth, you're not supposed to be of a puffed up, prideful towards brothers. Yeah, there's a confidence, but remember what condition we were in until we woke up to this truth. So you're not supposed to be thinking highly of yourself. And you've seen men that have done that, came in truth and done that. Where are they now? Some of them are still in the truth, but guess what? The spirit is no longer there. So that's why always sort of staying grounded. And even if with a little understanding you have, that's still important anyway. The scriptures say that he that feareth the Most High and have little understanding, it's important. And that's what it all goes back to. Then he ought to think, I'm better than this guy. He can do this. I can't do this. So what? That's why it's a ministry. But think soberly minded, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. Every man's been given a measure of faith, a portion of faith. And guess what you can do with faith? It can always be increased. Always. I'm speaking for myself. Faith can always be increased through prayer, through fasting, through being brotherly, through doing things that are needed. For as we are many members in one body, so it says many, not one. So you may be looking at, see, that's how strife starts. Oh, but how comes he can do this? How comes he, bro, worry about yourself. There's 12 tribes. And when I say worry about yourself, I'm talking about in the terms of you shouldn't be worrying about how comes this guy can do it better. How come, bro? You're gonna have those that are more eloquent speakers and those that are more, some called rough around the edges. That's because it's a body. Okay, that's what you gotta understand. See, when you're in that covetous spirit, you're not gonna be looking at things with a spiritual mind. You're gonna be looking at things. How comes you can do that? How comes, bro? Because that's why you have bodies and that's why you have members. Different members of the bodies, they do different things. For as you have many members in one body, all members are not the same office. So it's letting us know you have many members and they're not all the same office. You have different offices. So we being one but many are one body in Mashiach, and everyone members of one another, having in gifts. Okay, differing. So we all have a gift and our gifts differ according to the grace that is given to us. Okay, let's read that again. Having gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. So everybody's gift, it differs, but it's still a gift according to what that grace, that mercy given to us. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy. So if it's in you to profit, to prophesy, you profit. Why? Because that was the gift that was given you according to the proportion of faith. It's according to your faith, your measure of faith. Some brothers can prophesy longer than others, some can't. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering. And we're all supposed to be what? Ministering. Whether you're a helper, whether you're cooking food, whatever you're doing, okay, holding the umbrella, whatever you're doing. And he that teacheth on teaching, because you've got some that are just teachers, they may not prophesy, but they're teachers. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation. You've got brothers that are brilliant at doing exhorting, making brothers feel more cheered up in the spirit when they're down. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. Okay, so when you're doing so, you're doing it with simplicity. You're not doing it with a grudge. He that ruleth the prophets with diligence, because the law requires us to be diligent. And he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness, because that's one of the most important matters: mercy, faith, and judgment. Okay, the most important matters of the law, as it mentioned in Matthew 23. With cheerfulness. So if you're showing mercy with cheerfulness, you're not holding no grudge. Let love be without dissimulation. Okay, that malice and shit. Abhor that which is evil, cleave that to which is good, which is this word. Be kindly affectionate to one another. And just because you may curse at your brother doesn't mean you don't love him. With brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another, not slothful in business. So you can't be slothful in business, and this is a business. Yahushua said that. Don't you know I'm about my Father's business? Fervent. Yahushua wants us to be fervent, on fire for the truth, in the spirit, serving the Lord Yahushua, rejoicing in hope, the hope of being saved, patient in tribulation, because what does that bring? Experience, continuing, because a lot of people, they're not patient in tribulation. They could do videos on what hell you're going through, but when they go through tribulation, they run out the back door. They run out the back door. Okay? They go missing. That's why the scripture says patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, which is fundamental. I need to pray more as well. Distributing to the necessity of the saints. Distributing your giving to hospitality. If you're hospitable, you're very giving. Bless them which persecute you, and that's what we're doing. Okay? And curse not, because we already know if that's what you're doing, then that's you're in good terms. Rejoice with them that rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Cry. Be of the same mind one towards another, and they have to be in the same doctrine for you to have to be in the same mind, because this ain't talking about everybody. Okay? Mind not high things, but condescend to men of lower estate. So those that are of a lower estate, lower rank, lower position, you get on their level. Be not wise in your own conceits. In other words, I think this, my emotions. Okay, recompense no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men, and that's what we do. And if it is be possible, as much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. Why? Because you just have less trouble. Because we got enough things we're dealing with in this flesh, in this world, and among the brethren. So with this lesson, this is all a part. And guess what? Bear me just a minute. I nearly missed something. Okay, it tells you in Matthew 10 and 42. Okay. And every one of you may have come past a camp and gave brother some money or a bottle of water or some vegetables or whatever it was. That could have sealed your fate from then. Okay, of you being delivered just for something like that. So I want to quickly go to this, Matthew 10 and 42. Whosoever shall give drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Okay? So in no wise you're going to lose your reward. You do something good for a prophet, that's remembered, because even certain people in the world, they've done certain things for me, and Lord willing, that might seal their fate for being saved. So you never know the little things. You do it to one of the little ones. You do it to Yahushua, and the little ones, Yahushua's little ones, are those that are doing His work, striving for Him day in day out. The little ones are not everybody. They're those that are striving for Him, those that have found favor with Him. Okay, so you brothers, you sisters out there, keep up the good work, and until the next time, Shalom.